Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Brian's Horror Corner, and welcome to this Simpsons Treehouse of Horror video review as part of my overall Simpsons Treehouse of Horror series for the rest of September here. So today we're going to take a look at the third Simpsons Halloween special, or the third Treehouse of Horror special, if you will, from season 4 overall of the show. So I'm going to read this little blurb at the beginning of each of these videos, just in case somebody comes on later than the first video. But Treehouse of Horror, also known as the Simpsons Halloween Special, is a series of Halloween-themed episodes of the animated sitcom The Simpsons, each consisting of 3 separate self-contained segments. These segments usually involve the family in some horror, science fiction, or supernatural setting, and always take place outside the normal continuity of the show, and therefore are considered to be non-canon. So that's just a little blurb for all of you that might not be as familiar with The Simpsons or the Treehouse of Horror episode. So yeah, this is Treehouse of Horror, episode 3, overall episode 64 of the entire series, from season 4, 9F04 for those of you that like to keep track of what that meaningless statistic. So this episode has 3 segments. The first one's entitled Clown Without Pity. The second one is King Homer, and the third one is Dial Z for Zombies. So those are the 3 segments from Treehouse of Horror episode 3. So I'll just kind of go through each one. Clown Without Pity is very much a take on both Living Doll and the Child's Play movies. This one was directed by Carlos Beza, written by Al Jean and Mike Reese. So basically, this is one where it's so let me back up. First of all, sorry, I forgot to talk about the wraparound segment. So the overall episode's introduced by Homer. Sort of, they're playing on the Alfred Hitchcock shadow image thing, where Homer steps into his own image. Very much Alfred Hitchcock Presents kind of, which I thought was kind of cool. And then instead of Marge doing it like she did the first two Treehouse of Horrors, he gives a little blurb about how this episode is scary, and there's a lot of crybabies out there that'll complain about the violence and the frights of it, and it's pretty funny. It's pretty good. And then we get into the wraparound, which this year is the Simpsons hosting a Halloween party at their house. And you got a lot of the town folks and Bart's friends that are there, like Millhouse and Martin Prince, and they're all kind of dressed up, and they start out by playing a game, and then it basically evolves into the different members of the party. They're telling stories, scary stories. So 3 scary stories set on Halloween night. I should mention too that this episode aired on October 29th, 1992, so a couple days before the actual Halloween date of Halloween that particular year. But yeah, so the first story that's told from the wraparound is Clown Without Pity, which, like I said, is taken on the Living Doll and Child's Play concepts. In essence, it's Bart's birthday. Homer forgot to buy him a gift, so he ends up going to this occult shop, if you will, kind of creepy shop, and there's some give and take between him and the proprietor of the store, if you will, the owner, about this gift idea that he found, which is it's a Krusty doll basically, but he tells them that it comes with great, um, great. Why am I drawing blanks? Um, well, it could be bad. Let's just put it that way. So by getting this, but it comes with a free frogurt, which is a kind of a running joke that goes on, which I thought was pretty good. Anyway, he brings the doll home, and it's got a string on the back. You pull it out, and it says, "I love you," and "You're my best friend," and all that. Bart really loves the gift, but then the gift starts to go haywire, starts to become evil, and goes after Homer. So it basically tries to kill Homer, and I thought this was a pretty decent segment. Nothing groundbreaking, but there's some decent humor in it. The resolution to it's kind of silly and nonsensical. Um, it's an okay segment, not the worst, not the best, but that's Clown Without Pity. Then the second segment, or the second story that's told at this wraparound Halloween party that the Simpsons are hosting, is King Homer. This, I believe, was directed or written by J. Kogan and Wallace Waldowski. Um, King Homer's a take on King Kong, of course. So This has one of my favorite jokes of the entire Simpsons series, actually, um, where Mr. Burns turns to Smithers and asks him what he thinks, and he has a line that says, "I don't." Basically, they're trying to find somebody to use as bait for this King Homer on this island that he's on, and Smithers says, "I don't think women and seamen don't mix," basically, because they're on this boat full of seamen, and that's just a great joke that's given. It always makes me laugh out loud, even when I watch it for like the umpteenth time. But yeah, that's one of my favorite jokes of the entire series, not just of the Treehouse of Horror episodes. But basically, they lure Marge, who volunteers. She goes to this island. They use her as bait, and then King Homer, King Kong, if you will, takes a liking to her and kind of carries her around. And but basically, it's a trap to bring King Homer to back to the state so that he can be an attraction for Mr. Burns. Of course, it doesn't end the way you would think, and it's a cute episode. It's kind of a nice dynamic between Marge and Homer, and it's sort of a different take on it. Again, it's not a scary episode. It does have some great jokes in it, especially as it relates to Burns and Smithers. But yeah, that's King Homer. And then the final segment of this episode is Dial Z for Zombies. Sam Simon and John Vitti wrote this one. This is a take on Return of the Living Dead, Night of the Living Dead, Pet Cemetery. It kind of calls back to several different movies. This is basically one where Bart has to do a book report, and he ends up finding this occult section of the library and stumbles upon this book that conjures up. He basically raises the dead of Springfield with it from the cemetery, the graveyard, and yeah, this segment has just a lot of great Homer stuff, a lot of great Bart and Lisa stuff, a lot of great jokes. Period. They also do a really good job with the animation of the zombies that come back to life, and of course, they have to figure out how to get the zombies to go back to their resting place, if you will. So yeah, it's not a groundbreaking episode or a groundbreaking segment, but it's a very fun segment. There's a few, I wouldn't say scares, but like I said, good makeup, good animation effects. It's just a really fun episode with a lot of humor in it. So that's Dial Z for Zombies. In case you can't tell, that's going to be my favorite of these three segments. Dial Z for Zombies. I think it's one of the better Treehouse of Horror segments all time. Number two for me would be King Homer, and then the third one would be Clown Without Pity, which is Krusty the Clown and Homer, basically. Yeah, I enjoy all three of these segments, but to me, Dial Z for Zombies is very much the best of it, followed by King Homer and then Clown Without Pity. Um, so yeah, and then it actually doesn't go back to the wraparound at the end in this segment like it does in the first two Treehouse of Horror episodes. It just ends with that third segment, and it's got a pretty decent resolution and kind of a funny finale to the entire episode. So basically having to do with the Simpsons and TV and stuff. But yeah, overall, I think this is a really solid Treehouse of Horror episode. As I said, they seem to be getting better at this point from the first one to the second one to this one. So yeah, I really enjoy it overall, and yeah, not much else to say. Treehouse of Horror 3 or from season 4 of The Simpsons, definitely check it out. Really good stuff. Um, Go ahead and comment down below what's your favorite segment of this particular episode. Please like this video and hit the little notification bell down below so you don't miss any of my upcoming video reviews for this series, and please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my great horror content coming out for the rest of this year and on to next year. So hope everybody's doing well. Hope you enjoyed this review, and stay scared. Bye.